Hello and welcome to another episode of Classic Boat Rescue here on the shores of beautiful Greenwood Lake. There's Fox Island. Yep, coming to you also from Hewitt, New Jersey at Sportsman's Marina, my home away from home. You should really come over here and check this place out. These folks are amazing. Great people, and they've got everything you need for your recreational boating needs. Really good people. Can't say enough. So what am I looking at here? What's this deal? Oh, it's a floating living room. Oh my God, what are we doing with this thing this time of year? Oh yeah, trees practically off color already, like past color. It's November, getting chilly. This is a really chilly day today, chilly morning. So what are we doing with this thing? Well, I'm gonna give you the lowdown. This is a pontoon boat that we're renovating, possibly for a client. And what we've done here is mocked it up. All this stuff is kind of just like sitting on top of the new decking that we have. And I'll show you that in a little bit. And this is the progress so far. Got the navigation lights mocked up on the front there. They're just laying on top of the deck. And we've got the railing on the side there. And we got the channel that covers the decking just kind of laid on there, just so we can get an idea of where we're going with this stuff. And around the back, we've got a really nice Yamaha 4-stroke, 115 horsepower. And I took the engine cover and redid the paint and decals on that guy a couple of months ago. And that thing looks really good now. It's going to be ready to rock. And there's the decking. That's all brand new marine grade plywood. And all the seams have been sealed and sanded smooth. And all the bolts have been covered with Bondo so they don't telegraph through the vinyl flooring we're going to put on there. Gonna be a lot of fun. We're gonna get new furniture for this, and we're gonna get a new control panel, and it's gonna get a new bimini top, and everything. Basically, we're going through everything except the pontoons themselves. The chassis, I guess you'd call it a chassis. What would you call it? The hull, maybe? Remains pretty much intact. It's in great shape, so why bother? Really great. So give me a second and I'll show you in depth some of the things we're doing as far as this playpen is concerned. The railing around a pontoon boat is either called a playpen or sometimes it's called a bird cage. And let me show you in depth what we're doing on that, why it's got that burgundy color now. It used to be white. I'll try to insert a couple of still pictures of what this sky looked like before we started. Okay, hold on a minute. Let's go. Yeah, so here we are. Sportsman's Marina. What's going on out there? These guys are winterizing, shrink wrapping boats, putting them to sleep for the cold weather. Yep. This is my view from where I'm working. There's the mobile toolbox right there. It's my car. I got my tools in the trunk. Usually if you come by here and you see a little white BMW, trunk's open. Why? Got my toolbox in there, my supplies and everything I need. work right out of the back of my car. So if I need to get to one end of the lot to work on one boat, I'm there. If I need to go to the other end of the lot, I'm there. Pull up, pop the trunk, do my business. And that's Fox Island right in the back there. I'm always getting in the way of the mechanics. Wherever I park is usually someplace they need to be. They need to either put a boat where I am or move a trailer or something. Anyway, they're good though. They're good guys. They just like to bust my chops. Where am I? I'm in a building across from the main building over at the Marina here. This used to be a restaurant and bar. Yeah, I could tell everybody I work in a bar. Well, a one-time bar. Now it is my workspace. And I'm somewhat messy. Alright, I'm really messy. What is this? What is going on? This is part of the playpen or bird cage for the pontoon boat I'm working on. And what I did here was I power washed it, and I stripped off all the decals. It's like peeling off a sunburn, but a little less painful, or maybe just as painful, depending on how you look at it. And you can still see some of the traces of the decal. There you go, right there. It was a Weir's. It was a sun tanner, 24-foot pontoon boat. Yeah. And what I'm doing is cleaning up this material right here. Cleaning up this corrugated aluminum. I got off the decals. And now I'm going to take some lacquer thinner and get off the remnants of the glue. See that you can see Weir's, a little ghost of it. Getting off the glue from the old decals. Getting off any grease, oil, dirt, and any kind of nonsense from there. And getting it ready and prepped. First, I have to warm up the place. How am I doing that? Look at this baby. Is this cute or what? This is an antique Coleman propane heater. And it's got just enough patina. It's really awesome. Look at a little rusted out top there. It's still solid. It's just that all the paint has been burnt off. And when the rust got to it, I found it in one of the back rooms here in the restaurant, and power washed it, gave it a quick once over. There ain't much to these things. I knew it was going to start up, and it started up, and it's warming the place up. Now, why do I need to warm the place up? Because this is the vinyl wrap I'm putting on the panels of the bird cage for the pontoon boat. This is a 3M material that's super durable and really super easy to work with. You know, sometimes if you put down like contact paper or some kind of sticker, a large sticker, maybe on the door of your truck for your business, you'll get air bubbles trapped in the material, and it looks horrible. It just doesn't look professional. Well, this stuff actually has little tiny air valves built into the material, almost like Gore-Tex. And that means those little air valves let out any of the bubbles that get stuck as you're wrapping your piece. It's really great stuff. Now, I'm not going to say it's super easy to work with. You know, you still have to be careful. Make sure you don't get any folds or wrinkles, because those don't go away that easily. But even those you can get out with a little heat gun, maybe a little temperature. Stuff works. It's really awesome, and the finish is amazing. It really looks great. So that is what I'm doing over here. Okay, what kind of tools am I using? Okay, I just happen to have my tools here. Okay, I got the heat gun. That's for heating up the material so I can stretch it and move it around a little bit if it's getting too cold. Got a giant pair of scissors here. That's what I cut the material with. That is my cigarette box. We don't need to look at that. Okay, this is somebody's credit card my credit card actually, that I'm actually moving the material into the corners and using it sort of as a squeegee. You got to be careful not to squeegee it too hard because you will scratch the material. You'll see it. You'll see the scratches. What you have to do is like just gently move the material, glide it around, and work out any air bubbles as you go. All right. What else? You don't need to see my cigarette casing sunglasses. What else am I using on this thing? I've got over here, down at the other end of the bar. I've actually drank at this bar a few times when it was still open. We've got dental pick. And what I'm using on the dental pick for is we're getting crap like this, leftover pieces of sticker, the original decals from the pontoon boat. We're picking them out of there because some was left behind. So then what happens? Well, what we're doing is we're wrapping this material on here so it becomes a nice burgundy color. And then what I've got for the edges, these edges are kind of like, these railings are kind of like chamfered inward. So there's sort of like a little void that makes it really hard to get the material underneath there. So what I'm doing is I'm leaving like about a 1/4 inch on either side. So it makes it easy to lay it down, right? So the material doesn't get stuck here and try to go underneath there. It's really hard to fit it under. I've tried. So what I wound up figuring out here is, what am I going to do? Well, let's race over here and find some. I've got this stuff. What is that? It is from the automotive store. It's from the parts store. What is it? It's pinstripe tape. And I got this attractive black and silver style pinstripe tape. So I'll lay down the material, the vinyl, and then the void at the top and at the bottom are being covered by this nice pinstripe material. And it works out great. I'll show you when it's finished later. So that's that. Yeah, you can, on this shot, you can seriously see where the decals used to be. Okay. So this is a little while later, and I'll give you an idea of what's been going on here. So here is that railing, that part of the playpen, bird cage, whatever you want to call it, after I've cleaned it and prepped it. So it's nice and clean. Got all the stuff out of the edges there, all the little bits and pieces of the decals that originally were on there. All nice and clean and prepped. And ready to go. Next step is going to be a tack cloth to get some of the leftover dust off of it and any debris that might have found its way on there. And okay, what have I used to clean it with? Well, two things. There is my mineral spirits and lacquer thinner. Now I'll usually hit it with the lacquer thinner first, and that'll get off any glue left by the original stickers, and it'll get off grease and grime, and then I come back after that and I'll hit it with some mineral spirits just to clean up any paint that I melted off or anything else. It's a good like intermediate material to cut what's left on there from this stuff. This stuff will actually leave some kind of a residue on the material. Melted paint, melted glue, that kind of thing. So this is a good kind of like wash up after that. And then like I said, the next step would be to hit it with a tack cloth to get rid of some of the dust and debris. Now, what's a tack cloth? Tack cloth is a piece of cheesecloth, basically, that has been soaked and impregnated with some oil. Actually, it is a sticky material. It's linseed oil. It's been impregnated on there. And what that'll do, since it's sticky, it kind of picks up any dust and debris that happens to be on the piece of material. This way, you're relatively particle free. Well, relatively saying that because sometimes you will get some stuff stuck underneath the vinyl, even if you clean this really well. Now, I'll come back after I do the tack cloth, and I'll hit it with a little vacuum cleaner that I have, that I stole from my house. I don't know if you can call it stealing if it's yours. Let's just say I stole it from my house. I borrowed it from my house. And I'm just going to vacuum up the corners. And you vacuum up any edges that might still have dirt hiding in there. Like that. So that's what you can do. And I guess it's inevitable. The next step is going to be cutting a piece of vinyl and getting it ready. There's the vinyl right there. Getting it ready to lay down onto the aluminum base. There's the vinyl. Now, got it near the propane heater to warm it up because this vinyl likes to be a little on the warm side when you lay it down. I also got the heat gun over here, and I'll use that guy just to boost the process a little as I go. So I'm going to cut some material and get back to you in a second. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. So I cut out the piece of vinyl here, and it's going to go right. It's going to go right here in this panel right here. I chose the center panel because it's just closer to the lighting I have, and it's easier for you guys to see. So there's the piece, and that's where it's going to go. Now I'll just kind of tuck it in this end over here because, like I said, we have a chamfer in there, and I just can't lay it down, otherwise it just won't fit. So I got a chamfer there that I got to work with. So I kind of think I'm going to push it down in there. I'm going to run it down. I don't think I'm going to be able to show you me actually sticking this stuff down because it requires two hands, and I can't do it. I can't do a two-handed thing. I don't have a tripod for the camera, but I'll show you when I finally finish it. Okay, so over here you'll notice the edge of this material has some discrepancies, some damage. Now what? Uh-oh. That could potentially show if we were just going to put down vinyl. Right, just a one layer, clean layer of vinyl on there. We're gonna see these discrepancies. You know, and it's gonna happen. There's just no getting around it. So what do we do? What do we do? Oh my God, what are we gonna do? You know, just that piece of vinyl is shot. No, it ain't. You know why? Here's the deal. Okay, so we got a discrepancy here. This is a little bit of paint. Well, I can take that off with lacquer thinner. That's no big deal. But what are we going to do about these chews and chips? It looks horrible. Now, here's what we do. We give ourselves some wiggle room by... We're going to stick some pinstriping tape over the edges there. And look, ta-da! It's gone. No more discrepancies. They're hidden under the pinstripe tape. No problem. And the same with these guys over here. Here's another one. Watch. Perfect. See, the beauty of the pinstripe tape is it really gives you a lot of wiggle room and room to breathe when it comes to putting this stuff on. Otherwise, forget it. It's a hassle. It's a lot of extra work. Just and it doesn't come out really as nice. And I'll tell you, the pinstripe actually gives it a little punch. It gives it some pizzazz, some detail. It makes it look like you really are trying to do a good job. It looks professional. And after all, we're trying to be professional here. So, that's that. So, I'm thinking I'm going to lay it down now. And I'll get back to you when it's completed. Okay, it'll be done in about 2 seconds as far as you're concerned, thanks to the magic of editing. And we'll just like fade out on the propane burner again. All right, ready for some noise? Okay. Hold yours if you have to. Now what I'm doing is just I'm warming up the material with this heat gun. It's a little chilly in here, even though I do have the heater going. This just will give it a little bit of extra flex. You don't want to get too close with the heat gun because you'll melt this stuff. This heat gun shoots out some pretty serious BTUs. It's really for paint stripping and stuff like that. And don't use it for a blow dryer on your hair. You'll end up in the emergency room. And we don't want that. Anyway, I'm going to do the bottom here a little bit. Do the bottom a little bit, warm up the material itself, the metal. Alright, that's a horrible shot. There you go. Warming up the bottom. We just want to give this thing a little bit of flex power by virtue of the heat gun. Alright, I'll get back to you in the next step. Hey, look. It's Kirk on the whaler. What the hell's he doing out there? That's the workboat we have here. It's the Boston whaler we got. That's our workboat. Who's that? Somebody's on a jet ski out there, personal watercraft. I wonder who that is. It's one of our guys. It might be Rocco. It's really cold and nasty out there to be on a jet ski today. Dang, he's probably testing it out or pulling it in to shrink wrap it. Don't know. Where is Kirk? We lost Kirk. There he is. Hey man. How you doing, Kirk? It's that time of year. I'm getting these things out of the water. See you, Kirk. Okay, and the material is on. That went really well. Nice and easy. Looks really great. And real smooth. Nice. Now I got to work out all the little bubbles get trapped in there. Like I said, there's little air valves in the material, so they're just going to like relieve themselves as I burnish it with a piece of paper towel, and I'm going to use a little mineral spirits on the paper towel to act as a lubricant as I swish across this, and it's going to actually help get out those bubbles. It seems to work well. I just picked up that trick on my own by accident, but it works. So yeah, over here I still have to trim down the material. What I did was I took the credit card, just like gently forced it into the corner there where the channel is. Forced it in there because we're dealing with that beveled corner on the channel. So now I'm going to grab my X-Acto knife and cut that right there and peel that back, get rid of it. And we don't have enough pinstriping tape to cover these damaged spots today. I have it on order actually, so that should be here by the end of the week. So what I'm just going to keep doing is wrapping all the pieces, and then when the pinstriping tape comes, I'll just revisit them and just finish them up really nicely. That's that. So I'm really loving this stuff. What are the benefits? Let's talk about the benefits of this stuff. You don't have to paint, right? So you don't need a spray booth. You don't need any respirator. You don't need a compressor. You don't need a gun. You don't need to be a professional painter, or you don't even have to be a amateur painter who sprays with spray cans and has some abilities. You don't have to do any of that. You know, you could work in any room practically where the material will fit, all right? No noxious fumes or chemicals or anything like that. You get a spectacular finish. Looks really, really good and professional. And you know, I bet you it costs less than spraying it. Because you just imagine how many cans of spray paint you would need to do this baby. And then on top of that, you would have to still do the prep work, right? You would have all sorts of masking tape all over the place, and you have to worry about overspray, and then you're gonna have to clean up the overspray off of the panels wherever it goes. If it gets on the rails, you're gonna have to get some lacquer thinner, clean off the overspray. Then you have to wait for it to dry. Then you have to blah blah blah. You know, there's just a multitude of things you'd have to do with spray paint. But this is quick and easy and clean and nice, and really it's not that expensive. I don't have the numbers in front of me. I didn't buy the stuff. But it can't be that bad. It really can't be that bad. I'm guessing it's well worth doing this. Now, we own this boat. Sportsman's Marina owns this boat, and we're redoing it for resale. We have a potential buyer, and we're kind of like setting it up to sort of like his color choices, his colorway, what he wants. But we own this one. Now, I don't know what's going to happen. Maybe it'll get sold. We'll find out. But that doesn't mean we can't do this to your boat. If you've got a pontoon boat that needs to be wrapped and you're not necessarily interested in painting it yourself or doing anything major to it yourself, you might ask if we could do it for you. I mean, if I could do it for this one, I could do it for anybody's boat. No big deal. I don't know what we would charge. I don't know how long it would take. I just don't know. But come in and ask Rich. He's like one of the chief honchos here. See what he says. Because, you know, after a couple of seasons out on the water and the sun and the UV rays, you know what happens to pontoon boat decals. They get all peely and faded and yucky and whatever negative word you want to throw in there to describe the way they decay and they deteriorate. So it might be a choice for you. Come over to Sportsman's Marina, talk to Rich, see what he says. Maybe we can do this for you. You know, and then, you know, by spring, you might have yourself a new looking pontoon boat. That reminds me, you know, a lot of people now are getting their boats winterized and shrink wrapped, and they're putting them away for the winter. But, you know, I'm thinking, why? Why would anybody want to put their boat away dirty? You know, it's sort of like if you've got a horse and you ride them hard and you put them up wet. You know, that's sort of like a slap in the face to a horse. You know, they have long faces, so it's a big slap. Anyway, why not have your boat detailed, cleaned up, prettied up, and then shrink wrapped? Because, hey, let's face it, who wants to do it in the springtime? Who wants to get their boat detailed in the spring? You want to get on the water as soon as possible. As soon as it's warm, where are you guys? You're on the water. You want to get out over by Fox Island there and goof around, maybe go to the sandbar, kick it back with your friends, tie up and goof around. The last thing you want to do is think about cleaning or detailing your boat. So why not? Why not detail it first? Get it shrink wrapped, and then in the summer or in the spring, you're ready to rock. Now, that's just my personal opinion. But think about it. It just makes sense. So anyway, back to the vinyl wrap. That's it for that panel. I'm just going to trim that and I'll burnish it in, which is, like I said, just like rubbing out the air bubbles with a piece of paper towel. All right, let's do that. Next step. Okay, next step. Now we're going to be burnishing out the bubbles. It's kind of hard to see from your vantage point, but these bubbles, air bubbles underneath the vinyl. And what I just have is some mineral spirits on a piece of paper towel. You can kind of make out the bubbles there. See the bubbles? And I'm just going to convince them to come out. And I'll just come out on their own with a little help with my finger. Like that. And just burnish everything down until it's completely adhered to the backing, to the corrugated metal material. And that's that. So I'll do that for a little while. It's going to take a bit of time to do that, not a lot of time. And then I'll come back and show you the finished results. Okay, back in 2 seconds. Alrighty then, now we're just burnishing it up for the last time. It's all done, looks great. And that's it. We're done. Nicely fastened, affixed to the corrugated aluminum. And it's looking really great. Now I only have, what, 1, 2, 3 more panels to go on this particular piece, but then I've got others to do. Oh, I'm nowhere near done with these guys. We've got some more panels to do outside. Got one in the other room over there. So that's it. I think this is going to be a wrap on this particular video. Hope you learned something and you enjoyed it. As always, I appreciate you watching. Thanks for watching. Remember to like and share and subscribe. And we'll call it a wrap on this video, as I already said. Until next time, this is Mike from Classic Boat Rescue, saying have a great day. Have a great time on the water and a great time on the land. I'll see you later. Bye. Classic Boat Rescue is sometimes brought to you by Sportsman's Marina, the place to come for all your recreational boating needs. Whether it's parts or service, gasoline, or just to say hi, we've got everything you need. And ask about our Easy Dock modular docking systems. It'll make your backyard waterfront footage your very own Sportsman's Marina. Come on down and talk to Rich.